All right. So hold on a minute. I have to go in here. Doug, where were you? Dude, that call was amazing. It was hilarious because it was like out of nowhere. It was, I think it provided the levity that was needed because it was a really, it was a really fucking heavy moment and everybody was really sad. And I said I'm not a lolcow. What are you talking about?
So where was I on 9/11? I was.
Yeah, what were you doing on 9/11?
I was working for my dad then at his auto repair shop, and I had just got to work right before the second plane hit, and he had the TV on, he had the news on. We had a TV in the waiting room there, and so we were basically watching that all day, and just hoping like none of my relatives from New York were in Manhattan that day. Which I had a cousin who was about Midtown that day. She said she'd seen the whole thing happen from Midtown, but luckily she wasn't in danger or anything. But she was close enough that she saw it all go down up close. So, but yeah, we were just watching. We were just watching in amazement the TV all day, just going crazy, and then
it was like it was fake, right?
Yeah, it did like not seem real. It just didn't seem real.
It was like just watching it unfold. It was just so. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. It provided a really great distraction for myself and my husband at the time and what we were doing, because everybody was just glued to the TVs. And so we were kind of just like, okay. I didn't understand like what had really happened. I just saw like there was a fire in the tower and I wasn't really paying attention. Walmart didn't have like the volume. We were in a Walmart and we were getting our, DVDs for our habit. And we saw the image and like people started like gathering around in like the electronics department or whatever. The volume was very low. We just like, we were able to read the banner or whatever. It was just the first tower. So like they hadn't like put 2 and 2 together that we were under attack or anything. But so many people, just like all the employees just flocked to this TV that we were just like, oh, there's nobody watching us. Okay, well, let's go. We just like loaded up our shit. And I think that day we grabbed a bag. We actually grabbed a duffel bag and loaded a bunch of the DVDs in the duffel bag. They went out to the garden department because nobody was out there, and tossed the duffel bag full of DVDs and the DVD player over the fence or whatever. You know how Walmart's got the fenced out garden area. Tossed that over there. It landed on, because there was on the other side there was like big bags of like fertilizer. The bag landed on the bags of fertilizer, so nothing broke. And we just walked out. I mean, that was the easiest shoplifting day we had, I think.
So
and we didn't have to go anywhere else afterwards.
How high were you, or were you chasing the high then?
So we were sick. Like we had woke up. It was the first run of the day. So, and we usually didn't save very much for the morning because we were dumb, knowing that we were going to be sick and fucking, when you're sick, dope sick, you don't want to go do anything, especially something like steal, because you're a shit show. Like you can't even function. So we were chasing at that point. We had not used at all. We just needed to get that money. And that happened and we were just like, fuck it. But then like when we got home, it's like by the time we got home, I think the first tower had fallen or just about to fall. I don't know. By the time we got home, the towers were just coming down by the time we got home. And it was a trip. It was fucking crazy to watch because we had just been in New York 2 weeks prior to this. And we were staying at a Hilton. We were on, like, I think the 27th or 28th floor at a Hilton. We walk out on our balcony, we could look and we would see the towers. And it's a magnificent sight. It makes the skyline just absolutely stunning to look at. And so we got to see it. And I'll probably never go to New York. I don't know. I went to New York again after that when I lived with Hypacheric, but they were gone by then, you know. We had just been there 2 weeks ago, or 2 weeks prior to that. So that was awesome. But that trip was it was absolutely not all expenses paid. It was like they dropped us off in Newark, New Jersey, not New York. So we were like, oh, it's all expenses paid. Okay, so the flight was free. They sent us tickets. Basically what happened is KCAL Channel 9 News was during a baseball game, like one of the Dodgers games, I think, was running this like thing where you call in and you could win. If you're the however many caller, you could win this trip to all expenses paid trip to New York to see the Yankees play against somebody, Dodgers maybe. I don't fucking know. I just remember it was one of those teams. And so you got a free ticket to the game, and they put you up in a Hilton hotel, a really nice hotel. You're in, you're in New York. It's like right by Manhattan. And but the game obviously is in the Bronx, right? And so that's a ways away. Like that's a cab ride away, or a sub. Yeah. But if you don't know the system, like the transportation, public transportation, like you're just going to take a cab because that's the safest thing to do. I can't navigate my own public transportation systems. Like I'm not going to be able to navigate subways and Grand Central. Fuck that shit. No, I'll get lost. So, but they didn't pay for that. They didn't pay for transportation, like going from here to there. They drop you off at Newark, which is not even in the same fucking state as where we're supposed to be going, which means we have to take a taxi cab. Back in 2001 was $50 to take a cab to pick us up from the airport, Newark, New Jersey, which might I tell you is a shithole. It is a shithole I was like a deer. I was terrified. I was clutching my shit. And I'm like, oh my God. I didn't think we were going to make it into the cab because we're going to get killed. Like it is so fucking ugly and like scary there at night. So and then drop us off there like at 11 o'clock at night. We've been on a 16-hour fucking flight. For some reason, when you're up in the air, we brought the heroin with us. I smoked heroin in the airplane bathroom. I'm not kidding. And then I put it in my shoe because you didn't have to like take off your shoes. You didn't have to fucking spread your asshole. Like you didn't have to do anything back then because it was pre 9/11.
Right.
So I had my heroin in my shoe and my foil and my tutor, like in my sock. It was all there. I didn't have to do, I got on the plane like that just fine. Did heroin in the bathroom, smoked it, no problem. But when you're up at that altitude for some reason, or maybe for that long, like it makes your high wears off quicker. I swear, I'm not imagining it. It did. And so we got there and we're like, fuck, how are we going to we didn't bring, what's that?
BPM says the real Mile High Club.
For real, yeah. No shit. So my parents and my grandparents and everybody, like they all chipped in money, to give us money so we'd have spending money to go on this trip. We bought heroin before we left because, part of the reason
Patriot Act passed.
Well, I mean, it was a 3-day trip. It was, and we're gonna be there. I mean, what are we gonna do? Buy heroin out there? How would I even know how to do that? Like, that's very dangerous. And so we bought, I think we bought like 3 grams, whatever. We spent most of the money that they gave us for, sightseeing and stuff like that, which we realized when we got there was a really bad idea because we had to come out of pocket for the cab ride to get to the hotel. And then we get to the hotel and what do you think that they say? They're like, okay, yeah, your rooms are paid for. Everything's good, taken care of, but you have to pay a $200 deposit. And we're like, oh, I don't have, how am I going to pay this $200 deposit? They said all expenses paid. I don't have $200 fucking dollars. we're going to be, and I like start hyperventilating because I'm thinking to myself, we're never going to be able to get, how are we going to get $200? I'm going to pimp out my husband. Like it's just not going to happen. Like, now we don't have a place to stay. Now we're on the streets of fucking New York. We're going to be, this is how we're going to go out. We're going to die this way. So now I had to call my dad. My dad's like, well, don't you have money? Well, Dad, I really, we have to take a cab ride to the, so he was like, all right, fine. So he put on his credit card. So we got up to the room. The bottles of water were like $9 for the little bottles of water. Like, New York is ridiculous. But we had a really beautiful view, but we were heroin addicts. So what do you think we did the majority of the time that we were in New York?
Well, I don't know. Would it be drugs?
We stayed in the room. we just kicked it in the room and smoked heroin. It was the dumbest fucking thing ever. And then, they had given us a throwaway camera. I'm like, we got to take some pictures. Like, we can't just and then the day came for us to go to the game. I'm like, well, look, this is a free ticket. Let's go to the game. And I'll tell you, so we went to the game. We had to pay another like $30 to take a cab to the game. And we get to the game. There's like nobody on the Yankees side or not the Yankees side. There's like nobody on the whatever team was playing. I don't know if it was the Dodgers or the Angels, but nobody was on that side. It was just like us. And then it was just there was not a lot of people there. We got pretty good seats. We could see the field pretty well. The best pizza I've ever had in my entire life I got from there. I was not interested in the game. It was just so dumb. It was just such a fucking waste of a trip. Like, if I could go back and do it differently, I totally would. The highlight of this trip was when we ran out of heroin and we needed to get more because we still had like night and then the next day. So because we had to get to the airport, and I had put $50 aside because I knew that that's how much money it was going to take us to get back to the airport. I was at least responsible in that sense. And then we had $40 left after that. And we had no dope. I don't want to be sick kicking on a fucking airplane because I was high on the airplane and still felt sick. So we start walking down. We walk out of the hotel. We go down Broadway, and we're walking around. And this black guy, is #not racist. I'm just trying to describe the person. He's got this jacket, and like in the movies, like they do in the movies, he like opens his jacket up and he's got like, necklaces and white, all this shit, like, in his jacket. He's like, do you guys want anything? You see anything you like? He's like, I'll give it to you really cheap or whatever. And then he unfolds this like what looks like a suit, like those bags that you can put suits, you hang suits in or whatever, and then he folds it or whatever. He unfolds this thing and he zips it open, and he's got all of these new movies that are still in the theaters, like in DVDs. And I'm like, oh, maybe they come out with movies sooner here. Like, this is so awesome. And he was only selling for like $5 a DVD, and I'm like, hell yeah, we should get one of these. So, you know what? I think we had like $60. We had 50 put aside. We had $60 left. Man. But I didn't know anything about what the fuck is a bootleg. I don't even know what that fucking means. I'm just like, these are fucking brand new movies. They haven't even come out in the stores yet on DVD. Yet here they are. We're about to get a leg up. Holla! And so then the guy, I was like, my husband at the time, his name was Scott. He was like, we need to figure out like how we can get some stuff. Like, this is really bad. And so I was like, well, just ask somebody. Like, this guy probably, if he's selling this and he's up at this time of night, I'm pretty sure he probably knows where to get some shit. So I was like, hey, I will buy that DVD and that DVD if you can tell me where I can get some heroin. He's like, oh, girl, I got you. Don't worry about it. So I gave him the $10 for the 2 DVDs, right? Me, Myself, and Irene, I think, was one of them.
Shit.
And he goes, okay. He's like, I'm gonna get you something. He goes, how much money you got? I said, I only have $40. It's my last $40. Please don't fuck me over, bro. Please don't. And he's like, I got you. He said, give me the money. I'm like, all right. And my husband's like, the fuck are you doing? And I'm just like, just trust me. Like, I'm a really good judge of character. This guy is on the up and up. He's going to go get, look, we got DVDs that aren't even out yet, babe.
Local businessman.
Hey, did you see? He was all organized. Like, how can you just be about this? There could possibly go wrong, honestly. And I prayed and prayed and prayed. Please fucking come back. Please fucking come back. Please fucking come back. I did not want to face that wrath. He would have divorced me. And he would have had grounds to divorce me because it was the bonehead move. And but to my surprise, the guy comes back and he hands me this like bindle. I've never seen heroin packaged in like a paper bindle, like folded, like, or I don't even know how he did it. It's like origami, just like, and I'm like, what? You know what though? He came back. So if he took my money and he came back and he's giving me a product, this is probably heroin, right? How can it not be? I wouldn't take someone's money and replace it. You know, I'd get them what they wanted me to get them. So he must be doing that. So we get back to the hotel and I'm gloating. I'm like, see, I told you. You got to trust me more often. We get back there. We open this bindle. And I realize that this is not black tar heroin. This is a powder. I've only been doing heroin for like 2 years or so at this point. Does it come in powder form? Why is this like white? Is this Coke? I don't even know what Coke looks like. Literally, heroin was the only drug I had done. I went from not doing drugs, period, seeing maybe weed, seeing a pipe with some resin, you know, my boyfriend scrape the resin out of his pipe. I went from that, not knowing shit about anything, to fucking straight up doing black tar heroin. So, like, I don't know what the fuck cocaine looks like. I didn't know what meth looked like. I didn't know what any of this shit looked like. I was like, what the fuck is this? So my husband's like, give it to me. I'm sick as fuck. I can't take this anymore. Let me just try it. He gets the foil out. He puts a little bit of the powder on the foil. And he lights it and he lets it burn. And it melts down into a black substance that looks exactly like it does if I would have put a piece of black tar heroin on there and lit it and started smoking. And it smelled exactly the way heroin smells, the black tar heroin, when you light it and you roll it down. It's gotten its heroin. It's just in a weird form. Maybe New York has just different heroin. Who knows? So my husband takes a tutor and goes to take a hit of it. And he almost dies. Half of his lung comes out in his throat. Like, he's like, it is so strong. He honestly, like, I thought he was going to die. Like, it was fucking insane. I tried. You can't even inhale it. You can't. That is a slammers or snorters only drug. He snorted it, got so fucking high. I don't put things up my nose. I can't do it. I've done hot rails before, but that's a totally different thing because the powder turns into, smoke before, I'm not actually like snorting powder. I can't do it. And we don't slam things. And so it was either smoke it or snort it. And I just couldn't bring myself to do it. So I was sick the entire fucking 16-hour flight home. We get this shit home, bring it to my dealer, and he's like, this is China white, dude. This is like the purest heroin you can get. Like, that guy didn't just not do you dirty. Like, he fucking did you a solid. We traded him this fucking bindle of $40 worth of fucking China white for like another 3 grams of black tar heroin. And that was the highlight of my fucking time in New York.
The bar system, you gotta love it. Hey, we got a request for the StreamYard link.
And then Troles not coming up here. It's not going to happen. I don't need that in my life. And then I put the movie in, right? And I'm excited to watch this movie. And it comes on and it looks kind of weird. Like, there's something off about it, but it's playing this movie. And then someone has a coughing fit. And that's when you realize, what am I looking? And the guy stands up and walks across the fucking, goes by the camera, and he's having a coughing fit. And I'm like, oh my God. And that's when I learned what a bootleg video is. Yeah, no, it's not that I can't handle the heat. It's because I'm not going to have fucking Honest Frank people coming up here and talking about Honest Frank. I'm not going to, no. I'm not going to, Trollo can go work with fucking Grady. I'm not going to do that. Not happening. Trollolo's not coming up here. All right, so, I was telling my 9/11 story, how I got to see the towers. And then, so now, does anybody else besides Troll? You know what? I'm not going to even do that. We're not going to do that. We're just going to play this this video. Hold on. Oh fuck! I stopped streaming. Yeah, I know. I don't want to talk about Honest Frank on my channel. Sorry. You guys, leave me alone about Grady. Who the fuck gave you this link? Who gave you this link?
What's going on in this joint?
Who gave you this fucking link? Doug, did you give him this link?
Oh my god. What's going on in this joint, Krystal? How are you doing? How are you doing, Krystal? I missed you.
I only gave this link to 1, 2, 3, 4 people.
Maybe I was one of the 4 people.
You are not one of the 4 people I gave this link to. I would not give this link to you. Granny,
Krystal,
you
what the
were
fuck
not
is the
given the
Dabbleverse? I don't know what the fuck that is.
You did not give it to Granny, you did not give it to me. Why? Who gave you this link?
Krystal, I worked for the NSA, so that's how it. Yeah, I saw that you were gonna talk about 9/11, so it's kind of my job here. I'm doing,
Mm-hmm. Why don't you tell the audience your story about 9/11, how you're personally connected to this tragedy?
Yeah, I was walking in Manhattan. I was looking for my brother through blood and bones, and suddenly all the planes hit, and it was an accident.
Wait a minute. Wait, hold on. So you were walking through Manhattan through blood and bones, and then suddenly the planes hit. So there were blood and bones on the ground before the planes
it's New York.
Hit.
It's just like that. With the mob, all that. You walk through corpses all day. That's fact.
You walk through, what is it? What was that again?
Corpses.
Okay.
Okay, Krystal, can you explain to me what the fuck the Dabbleverse is? I don't know what that is.
It's Howard Stern related shit. Trollo, it doesn't matter.
Why are you still talking about Howard Stern?
Well, it's not really Stern I'm talking about, but it's people who used to be involved with the show. Carpusses, yes.
Do you have Robin's phone number? I want to talk to her.
I do not have Robin's phone number, no.
Fuck. I wanted to know if she gave Howard.
She would probably love to hear from you, so I wish I did have it.
I think you and Lisa, you guys are in a league of your own. You guys are friends with Howard, so that's cool. That's nice.
I'm not friends with Howard. Howard doesn't even know who I am. Like, he doesn't.
Come on, he knows who you are. He played.
No, he doesn't.
He played a clip of your show.
But he didn't know who it was. He didn't know it was me. And do you notice that I don't fucking even talk about I talk about the people that I used to talk to from the Stern show. I didn't even listen to Stern. I wasn't even a Stern fucking fan. I had no idea, anything about anybody.
Yeah, so Krystal, I just remembered what I wanted to talk about. You were laughing at Cobra, but you used to have him on your panel all the time. What's the deal with that?
Good. I did used to have him on. I was laughing at the.
And now you throw him under the bus like that.
I would tell him, how did I throw him under the bus? Fuck you, Trollo. Don't stop making this fucking something that it's not. Elliot Oppen, yeah, that was. Do I have Bob Levy's phone number? I think so, somewhere probably.
I'll be honest, chat. I don't know about you guys, but if I was Krystal, I would be really nice to Cobra because
I'm not being mean to Cobra, but come on, I'm being honest. Like that shit that we saw, was weird.
So when Cobra thought you were his friend, you're actually just wrangling him.
No, I wasn't wrangling him. When I was friends with Cobra and he was on the panel, he was not like this.
Yeah, he was. He
Not to
wasn't.
this degree, he wasn't. Not to this degree, he wasn't. And I told you guys, I didn't like the Duster shit, and the way he treated Courtney when he was on her panel, and the way he like kind of just like shit in the fans' faces, you know, doing Duster while he was on panel, while they were like, you know, being trying to be supportive and nice. I felt like that was a really shitty thing to do.
Okay,
and
Snake
I'm not
Army
sitting here
saying,
talking shit on him. I'm just commenting on like the fact that it's just so outrageous, and I can almost kind of see that there's validity behind schizophrenic and Tourette's. I'm not saying anything. Come on, nowhere. Oh, that's funny. That's really good.
Okay, so that was funny.
That
Well, yeah,
is
Krystal,
funny.
you're mean.
That's really good.
Snake Arms is saying you're mean.
Man,
not cool.
There's an anti-gore rule. I really like. I need to stop. I'm just another troll trying to look cool. It's PhD in armchair psychology. I mean, I'm just saying that there are fucking Tourette's. There's tics, and I feel like maybe his fucksicos that come out of nowhere that have no, you know, relevance to whatever he's talking about. That
Krystal,
could be a
you
tick.
should learn from Courtney.
He's the one that said he has those things. I don't. And then, like, I mean, it's crazy. He's making his own alcohol. You know that botulism is absolutely a fucking risk. Who would do that? Why would you do that knowing that this is a fucking possibility? I don't get it.
I think with the like the more alcohol you get, I think the less of a chance you have of getting botulism. I'm not sure, but I would think that.
I mean, I can see that because, you know, the alcohol is like a sterilization type thing and probably just kill. Yeah, botulism is really good.
Krystal, did you hide me from your channel?
I did.
Oh no! Oh no!
I did.
Chat,
because I don't think I think it's fucked up that you say the things that you do in there, and I don't want it in, and I don't want it in my channel. I don't want it in my.
Come on, Krystal. I'm your #1 fan. I'm your
no. You are my #1 asshole. Is what you are. Like you're worse than you're like a hemorrhoid.
No,
you're a pain in my ass. Is what you are.
You didn't answer me when I asked you if you have hemorrhoids. So do you have?
I do not have hemorrhoids. No. Have I gone soft? Okay, maybe I've gone soft. Or maybe I just don't want my fucking kid's name all up in my chat. Maybe you guys ever think about that? Or maybe I don't want shit just like thrown. Maybe I just don't want that. I have the right to choose. I'm the one that's responsible for my. Shut up, troll. You know what you fucking did. I get to choose what makes me happy. Like I'm in control of my own happiness. I have to be the one that protects that. And you doing that.
Have you been happy lately?
So therefore, I got rid of you. And then somehow one of you guys, either G, Mongo, Doug, or fucking who else did I give the link to? G, Rupert, Doug, or Mongo betrayed me and gave you the link to this fucking stream.
YouTube administration, can you please ban Krystal's channel? She's doxing me.
See, and this is what happened. Okay. All right.
No, have you been happy lately, Krystal? Are you happy? Are you a happy person?
Scatman's World.